We're here welcoming our newest member and business to Chelsea Living, Elite Dentistry and Implant Center. And this morning I'm here with the man, Dr. Keith Davis. Dr. Davis, we appreciate you being here.
Good morning, we're glad to have you.
Well, we certainly appreciate your sponsorship. And before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, we've been here living in Chelsea for about 20 years. I set up from scratch around 2000, May of 2000. I'd been in private practice for about 4 years. And then came out here and ended up was going to buy a practice out in Shelby County area, but that deal fell through and we decided to start up from scratch here, which is not always the best thing, but it ended up being, I knew it was a growing community, and we felt like the growth was here. At that time it wasn't, but we knew it was coming, so it worked out to be a great decision, and very thankful we came here. We love it.
What's been one thing in your past that directed you to wanting to be in this profession?
I think from, I had good dentists from an early childhood age, never had really dental problems. I had good parents that took me to the dentist. I think working on my hands, I saw the dentist, I was watching he'd work with his hands, and I was always, like to use my hands. So I think that's what really drove me more, just to working with my hands. And I think that's what, as I grew older and older, I kind of kept with that same thought. And then obviously, went on to dental school.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that as long as you've been doing this, that you have seen a lot of advancements in the technology in this field. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think that that's probably the biggest challenge right now, is staying up. That's one thing we pride ourselves in Chelsea. We try to stay up to date with all the newest technology. It's changing constantly. I guess the computer world came on board with digital cameras, digital dentistry, and now we have digital scanning, and then now the 3D printing is coming on board. So everything's changing so rapidly. We've got a tremendous amount of technology that's coming very quickly. So I guess the biggest challenge on that is making sure you stay up to date, know how to use it, and make sure you can take it to the best patient care. But it's pretty cool. Every couple of years it's something new. I like it because you don't get that burnout in dentistry. You're constantly challenged with new areas to improve on, so it makes dentistry not static. And so I think it's got a lot of benefits, not only for the practitioner, but also for the patients.
Right. Well, where dentistry used to be, where it is now, and the way the technology is always advancing, if you had to guess, where would you see dentistry within 10 years? Well,
I think we're going to have a lot more genetic involvement, where we do more DNA sampling, maybe tissue swabs. I think you're going to have more tests of whether it be cancers, different autoimmune diseases are going to be diagnosed in the mouth. I do think, I had a guy who was a patient years ago. He was a geneticist at UAB, and I do think that, maybe not in my practice, but definitely in the next 50 years, we're going to be able to regenerate maybe teeth and stem cells and implant those cells. So it is definitely, that's some change I think will happen. Now how fast, I don't know, but it'd be a potential to actually grow a tooth back in the original spot you lost it. So
that's crazy.
So technology it's going to be very interesting over the next decade to see where it goes.
Wow. So why Chelsea? Why did you decide just to plant roots here?
Well, I guess the biggest thing there, this is 20-something years ago, the demographics of Shelby County was really starting to grow.
Yeah.
And I felt like there was very little dental. There was no dentists here, at that time. I think the population was a little under 2,000. And I felt like that the opportunity with families growing out here and the expanding Birmingham area would come to Shelby County, and it did. So it paid off, and it was slow initially because Chelsea hasn't caught up. But the last obviously 15 years we've exploded and continue to grow rapid pace.
Yeah.
And obviously a great family community. Now we moved out here. We didn't have the great Chelsea family community. Now everybody's moving here because great school systems, great teachers. You got great, support systems, and so it's really, became a really quaint town for people to want to.
Absolutely. As important as dental hygiene is, if you could give a PSA to anyone watching about how important it is to visit a dentist, dental hygiene, what would you say?
The biggest thing I see in dentistry is people have the misconception they have to have dental insurance to go to the dentist, and dentistry is expensive. Obviously, we talked about the technology advancements. There's a constant input in practice, and so dental visits can be expensive, but a lot of people just neglect their mouth for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and they just don't go. If they would just go, majority of big dental work can be stopped with a lot less cost. It's kind of like equate going to your mechanic and you've got to get a whole new engine versus having your oil changed or your fluids maintained. And I think that's the biggest misconception.
For those that may be looking for a new dentist, how can they find you guys?
Well, obviously now with social media, it's everybody's going to the internet. I mean, used to the phone books are, no longer a big thing. So, come by the office. We're located right here in the center of Chelsea by Harley's, Benson Plaza. Come in, talk to one of the girls. If you want me to set up time just to meet, we have a lot of people just come by for a 5 or 10 minute meeting and want to meet the dentist. So we'd be glad to do that for you. But just give a phone call. Most people check us out on Google. That's where we get a lot of patients. And like I said, we've been here 20 years. We pride ourselves in taking care of our patients. We can't make 100% of people happy, but we do our best. And a golden rule applies here. We want to make sure that if you feel like you're looking for a dental home, and a lot of our patients are maybe moving from Vestavia or Mountain Brook out here, and they continue to go back to their old dentist because that's who they trust. Give us a shot. We'd love to take care of you and provide great care for you.
Awesome. That's Elite Dentistry and Implant Center. Come check them out.